Ladies and gentlemen, all rise. Court is back in session. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Devil's Due. I am your host, Carl Duty. With me, as always, is a man who we are like the buzzing of flies to him, is Drew.
Hey.
Mr. Drew Celestino. How are you doing, sir?
Something Hill of Skulls, sat on a throne of blood
Scourge
or something.
of Carpathia.
Yeah, the Scourge. We've heard.
Sorrow of Mardol. yes,
Poison, stabbed, shot.
Scourge. Yes, we know all this. The Scourge. Wasn't it?
Command me, Lord.
Weren't you also Drew the Butch?
Yeah.
Might be the most underappreciated sequel of all time.
It's appreciated. It's
every time you hear someone
as
mention,
appreciated as it needs to be.
Every time you hear someone mention Ghostbusters, they say it's one really great movie and one not so great movie.
That's accurate.
I would disagree. That movie,
it's fine.
It's not. I'm not saying it's as good as the first one, but
no,
it stands well enough on its own.
It's fine, but we deserve better than fine.
I think you need to revisit it.
I have. Trust me. I know my Ghostbusters.
It's fantastic.
It's fine.
Here we are back again, sir. How are you? Opening statements. How are you? How was your week?
Well,
you look tired.
I am tired. I'm I'm not sleeping well. And you could either look at this as a problem, or given my circumstances, you could look at it as training.
You know, when you said you were not sleeping well, that would kind of be an opening for a stereotypical joke of, well, you're not sleeping well now.
Yep, exactly.
You don't know. It could be a coin toss.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Either way.
I've heard equal shares of kids sleeps through night fine and kids up all the time. So
I'm not betting on it. Let's put it that way. I'm preparing for the worst. So yeah, I'm tired, man. But it's been a busy week anyway. So Friday night, I had a show with the Long Cold Dark out in Centerville, New York, out in the country. Real nice turnout, probably 60 to 100 people out at the fire hall.
Cool. Very
good times were had. We went on a little later than expected, which is never fun because it's kind of like, especially with me being kind of on call as it is right now.
Yes.
So I was kind of like, I'd like to,
living that beeper lifestyle.
But I'd like to get the show going and get home as quickly as I possibly can.
Yeah,
just in case. But it was great. No, it was great though. Everything was cool. Great crowd. We played really well, and that's a good combination to have. But I didn't go home. I didn't get home until about 2 a.m.
Ouch.
And we had a birthing class at Children's Hospital at 8:30.
Oh.
So I was not well rested.
Was this the one shot 8-hour class?
It wasn't that long. They let us out pretty early. They kind of crunched it all into like 4 or 5 hours. So, and not for nothing, it was basically useless.
Yeah.
But it was fun people watching.
Yeah.
I got to look around the room and go, these people are having kids.
Were you the oldest couple there?
We were not the oldest couple there.
Okay.
We were the furthest along in terms of weeks and whatnot.
Yeah.
The oldest couple there already had a kid, which made me wonder what they were doing at a birthing class.
Maybe they didn't go the first time, and it was just like a C-section, or maybe
no, because we went over all that. No. We didn't. I didn't ask questions, but they said they already had one, and I was like, oh, so what do you want to know?
Yeah. What can you tell us?
Yeah. Why don't you teach the class? And sure enough, there was like some gym class all-star kid there too, man. Like this dude. Number one, dude showed up with a cooler. And he had some guns on him, like he was probably Mr. Fitness guy, so he probably had his portioned lunch in there or something for all I know. But like him and his wife, I assume, were there, and she was kind of fit mom looking too.
Yeah.
And like gym class all-star over here, is like talking to the teacher, the nurse, and she's like, well, I took a first aid class and I want to be really hands-on and I'm not going to be intimidated by blood or anything and, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to like get all this information. And then like, at the end of the thing, they were offering up, we have the lactation class, we have the bonding class, yada, yada. And he's like, I want to take all that. And all I could think is like, this guy, Mr. On the one hand, hey man, it's commendable that you want to be so hands-on in this moment of whatever. On the other hand, I'm thinking, if I'm a doctor, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm just in this class, but I can already tell this guy's going to be a total pain in the doctor's, during delivery.
Yep.
He's going to be in there probably inquiring about stuff that has zero bearing on anything and probably telling the doctor how to do his job. To a degree. And if I'm the doctor, I'm probably like, dude, I'm a doctor. Back off, man. I'm a scientist. Anyway.
It's too early to come full circle, Drew.
I'm sorry. It is. I know, right? I know. Anyway. So that was, he wasn't even the worst one, but I'm not going to spend the whole show here picking on disgusting people, but there were some gems in the class. So anyway, that was a good time. Somehow I made it through on very little sleep. Got home, and man, Saturday after that is kind of a blur. I don't remember much. I think I wanted to do something, and then I ended up not. I don't remember what happened Saturday after I got home from that thing. I know I ended up on the couch playing Octopath for quite a bit, and then that's all I remember, really, is playing Octopath for a bit. Sunday was a little more productive, though. I did get a little bit of sleep, and then I managed to get some primer up on the walls down in Cobra Island V3 down there.
Woo.
So, seeing as we are now weekdays maybe away from the little one entering the world, I got to basically spend the rest of this week crunching down there, getting done so I can get the remainder of my stuff out of here down there. So that this room can now become his room. And then we will have our new shiny Cobra Island Studios downstairs. At least that's the idea. We'll see if I can pull it off. We're getting close on time. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Looking forward to Saturday, though. I'll tell you that right now. Saturday being All In. The wrestling show, the largest independent wrestling show ever. So
cool.
It's going to be on pay-per-view, Fight TV, Saturday 7:00 Eastern. Man, 6:00 is actually the 0 hour they're calling it. That's going to be for free on WGN America, and everyone basically has that channel. So do watch out for that because that's the first hour for free, and then if you're digging it, get the pay-per-view. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a crazy show. Kenny Omega in the semi-main event against Pentagon Jr.
That's a pretty awesome matchup.
Yes, that's going to be pretty stellar. So look forward to that. So, you feel free to come on over Saturday, by the way.
Just may have to.
How was your week?
My week was good. The week itself, relatively uneventful. Wednesday, Julie's been doing like NT North Tonawanda, the city we live in, does historical walks. I think every other Wednesday, and Julie's been doing that. So when she does that, William and I go and to the comic shop at Dave and Adams and pick up my books, and he gets to see Aunt Virginia and run around a bit, and got home and just read my books. Surprised now that two of the books I enjoy most for Marvel are both dealing with like strange doppelgangers of the main character, Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Oh, okay. I'm behind on Daredevil, so you'll have to avoid spoilers for me.
They're doing kind of a deep pull from like years gone by.
Is Mike Murdock back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Mike Murdock is back.
All right.
And it's not like he meets Daredevil.
I feel like every writer has one Mike Murdock take when they come on board.
I was just quiet because, like, you said you wanted to avoid spoilers. I'm like,
I'm not surprised. Like I said, every Daredevil writer has some kind of they got to put their spin on the Mike Murdock gag from the 70s.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's played out now, guys. We can move on. Anyway.
Yeah. So that was that. Friday we did not do game night. You were at your show. Saturday, my good friend Manuel Marin, sometimes question show writer here at the Devils Do, him and his wife Vicky and my goddaughter Natalie came for a visit.
All right.
And that's probably one thing you were forgetting from Saturday night is I was texting you and be like, hey, man's here. You want to meet up? We're doing dessert and coffee. You want to meet up?
Yeah, when you messaged me, I was literally about to eat dinner, and I was kind of like, after I eat this, I'm probably going to pass out.
I was going to ask you to dinner, but we ended up going to Anchor Bar. See, and that's why I didn't ask you to dinner.
I mean, Manny is technically a tourist, so
that's
why you would go there.
We didn't go to the downtown Anchor Bar.
Oh, then you have no excuse at all.
Well, no, I mean, it's the wings are fine.
It's like Ghostbusters 2. It's fine. It's just unexceptional, that's all.
No, the wings are good. They're slightly above par for the Buffalo area. And I'd rather go to one of the franchise locations than the original locations because A, it's easier to get to, and B, we're not paying tourist prices.
I mean, you could go to Duff's.
I'm not crazy about Duff's.
I
don't have the. To me, Duff's is more about heat than flavor.
Oh, I would strongly disagree, but anyway.
So they were in town. They called it kind of an early night Saturday night. They went back to their hotel around 8 o'clock, which allowed me to get into game night with my friend Adam. And we played Dice Forge and we played Unearth.
Okay.
And it was two of the best games of both I've played. Like, so many resources getting used and applied, and it was a really, really good game of both. Sunday, we went to the Manny and his family came with us to church, and then we went out. We had lunch at Dockside. Have you been to Dockside?
No.
It's on Sweeney Street in NT.
I don't get out to NT often.
It's pretty good. I like it. It's a nice place. It's a newer place. So just the layout of it's really nice. They got a good menu, and then we all went out to the Sunflower Patch in Sanborn.
This is a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a thing. But yeah, they have a huge, this massive sunflower patch, and there's, little local vendors and whatnot. It's a really nice little, free, fun activity to do.
I'll probably be getting well versed on all these very soon. Things to do with the kid to get him out of the house.
Yeah.
Take him places like that.
I mean, take him outside and play with them.
But
Although we do both have the same problem. It's like, could take him out in the backyard and play with him, but then I gotta go pick up the dog crap first.
Exactly.
You have that problem much more than I do.
Yes.
So yeah, I think. And then they headed back to Staten Island Sunday afternoon. I think that was pretty much my weekend.
Well, all right.
As always, dear listeners, we'd love to hear about your weeks. We'd love to hear any questions or comments you may have for the show. If you'd like to talk to us, communicate with us, you can do so at the following locations. You can follow us on Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can go to facebook.com/DevilsDoPod. Give our page a like. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com, or you can find all these resources available to you on our website, thedevilsdopodcast.com. Drew, we do have a couple emails from the Brothers Grimm of the Devils Do.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Oh, good.
And I'm not talking about the Brothers Grimm that wrote the fairy tales. I'm talking about the Brothers Grimm, the C-list villains from Marvel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See, you might be being kind.
But it's said with love.
Okay.
Mr. J. Gelsomino and Mr. Alan Waiters. And since he was absent last week, we will start out with Jay this week. Drew and Carl, what is your least favorite animal?
Least favorite animal?
Least favorite
I mean,
animal.
there's so many animals out there.
But what's your least favorite? You're generally an animal person.
I am. Yes, I am. And I'm friend to all the animals, really. My least favorite animal. That's an odd one, because are we talking zoo animals, domestic animals?
The question is, what is your least favorite animal?
Well, let's see. I guess I have to go with, just on personal experience, cats. And it's not that I don't like cats. It's that I'm allergic to cats. And because cats seem to have this impeccable intuition that I'm allergic to them, they immediately are drawn to me.
You and I have the same problem.
And they like to cuddle up with me.
Yep.
And then if I am not properly medicated, I will immediately begin to sneeze and blow snot uncontrollably on top of itchy eyes and the whole nine. So, yeah, cats are kind of a problem for me. Anything else, cool. We're cool.
All right, yeah. My least favorite animal is pretty simple. Snakes.
I'm not a fan of snakes either.
Snakes, nope.
But I'm not allergic to them, so...
I'm more allergic to snake venom than I am to cats. So,
well, we don't know that.
Yeah. You know what? I don't want to find out.
It could be your superpower for all we know.
I'm good.
Okay.
So, yeah. Snakes, don't like them.
All right, Indy.
So, yeah, I've always said, two things Indiana Jones and I have in common. We don't like snakes and dashing good looks.
Okay.
Drew, Fire Pro Wrestling is out. Lives.
I don't have it yet, but
lives
yes, it is.
Can be changed. This may be the dawn of a new age. If you could cobble together the perfect wrestling game out of all the previous games that have been made, what would it be like?
I haven't played Fire Pro yet, so it might be perfect, and I just don't know it yet.
Yep.
So but just for the sake of, it probably already exists in like modded form. Someone has probably already done this on the internet, and I just haven't found it yet. But let's do a modern graphical presentation of the WWF No Mercy WrestleMania 64 style game with the fully robust customizable options that Fire Pro offers, and again with the modern bells and whistles that consoles can provide. So more modern presentation, better graphics and whatnot. Let's do that engine with the full custom options of Fire Pro. I think that's going to do it right there.
I'm sorry, that answer is incorrect. The correct answer was pro wrestling. Just do pro wrestling again.
No.
Starman.
Yeah.
Flip kick.
A winner is not you in this regard. Although, if they did, someone should really revive that game with all the same characters.
Yep.
Just now.
Yep.
Why not?
Be great. Same characters and same control schemes. Keep it basic.
Who made that game?
That was Nintendo.
Was it Nintendo?
I'm pretty sure it was.
No, I'm going to look this up.
Okay.
While you read the next question.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Did you ever play that game with a NES Advantage?
No.
With the turbos on? You could not be beaten. You just press down the button once, hold it down, any move you wanted. Done.
Wow. It was Nintendo. They're really sleeping on that franchise in that case. What? I mean, think about it. That's.
Can you call it a franchise, though?
I mean, it's a memorable game with original IP that they're just letting sit there.
Yeah.
I feel like.
What?
Masato Masuda.
Yes.
Was the programmer, and he thought up the game system. Shortly after the release of the game, he left Nintendo to join a company, which later became another company, And that company later made the Fire Pro Wrestling series.
There we go.
So there you go. In any case, that is bizarre. I can't believe Nintendo wouldn't.
You know what's funny?
Like, Starman, man.
Yeah, you know what's
the
funny
Amazon,
now that I think
man.
about it? How have any of those characters never shown up in a Smash game?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you're going to put the Ice Climbers in there, but you're not going to put, like, Starman in
Right.
there?
That's weird. That is weird. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, now we learned something today.
Things you learn. Carl, what is your biggest fear? A telepathic link to a shark out for revenge against your family while William is on a banana boat. Meeting Kurt Russell and him not liking you. Or Harrison Ford coming over to your house only to break your entire X-Wing fleet. Biggest fear would probably be the shark one. Obviously, anything that puts my son in danger, I'm not going to be down with. He ain't getting on no banana boat in Jamaica. I'll say that right now. So yeah, that would be my biggest fear. The other two would just be extremely unfortunate. But at least I get to meet Kurt Russell and Harrison Ford. I wouldn't mind meeting Harrison Ford. I'd just be, smart enough not to talk to him about Star Wars.
And don't get if he asks you to get in his plane.
No.
Just say
no.
no. Yeah.
No. All right, on to you, Mr. Alan Waiters.
What was my question?
Your question was the wrestling one.
Oh, right.
Jeez, man, you really are out of it.
Yeah, kind of.
You're out of it for a little while. Everybody gets delusions of grandeur.
Yeah. My bad.
Carl and Drew, if you were to open a barcade, what are the essential arcade games you would have?
I like this question.
Let's say we both get 6.
6. Okay.
We each get 6.
Give me a second.
We're joint opening the Devil's Due barcade.
Okay. We are going to have...
Let's knock out some easy ones first. Street Fighter 2.
Wait, well, hang on. I mean, which...
I'm going to have... You know what? I'm going to burn 2 of mine on Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Because you have to have Super Turbo.
Yeah.
And then I would go Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting.
So you're not going to have...
The last one before Super Street Fighter 2. Before Cammy T-Hawk, Fei Long, and DJ were introduced.
So you're not doing Alpha, you're not doing...
Nope.
Okay.
I only got 6 slots to fill. I'm burning 2 of them on Street Fighter.
All right. Fair enough. Keep going then if you want to keep...
Let's see. Try to think. Star Wars arcade game, the original, the Vector. Yep.
Okay.
I'm still thinking. So fire out a couple of yours because I could think of some, but I don't want to steal any of yours.
Okay. Well, we're going automatic. Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, mandatory. Killer Instinct it's a tough call if I want to have 1 and 2 or
wow,
1
you're
or
going
2.
Like 3 fighting games.
Fighting games were everything in the arcades back in the day. So I think I'm going to go with, you know what? I'm just going to, as cool as 2 is, we're going to go with KI Classic, Killer Instinct 1.
Okay.
And then I think we have to kind of acknowledge other genres. So we got to have X-Men in there. The full double screen arcade cab.
Okay.
The big Mamma Jamma.
If you're going X-Men, then I'm going Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Original fine. Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
So that's...
Yeah, I got my own count going.
I'm at 3.
I got
3.
4. Okay. I'm also going to have... I'm going to go classic. Which classic do I want? Do I want Donkey Kong or do I want Pac-Man? I'm not really enthused about either, but I feel like they have to be there.
You know what I'm going to do for my classic? Robotron.
Okay.
Robotron can be a Zen-like experience. It's just a really fun game.
Okay. So that's 4 for you?
Yeah, that's 4 for me.
All right.
It's tough.
All right. I'm going to...
I'm going to go... I'm going to go a little like kind of the beginning of the last gasp of true arcades, Virtua Cop.
Ooh, okay.
Virtua Cop, as far as light gun games go, Virtua Cop was top drawer.
Let me one up you there. Maybe you might want to rethink Virtual Cop. Time Crisis.
Time Crisis is good.
It's got the pedal. It's Virtual Cop.
It's got
but better.
the pedal. I prefer Virtual Cop.
Okay, all right. So that's Virtual Cop then. Okay, so that's 5 for you.
Yeah.
All right, I need a 5th, and I need something. I'm just not really overly enthused about Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. I just feel like they have to be there. But you know what's got to be? You know what has to be there over both of those, in my opinion.
What's that?
Galaga, or however you want to say it. That's got to be there. It's a mandatory. So that's my 5th. My 6th. This is tough. This is definitely tough. I've always had a soft spot for it, and I think it has its place no matter what arcade you're in. I think I got to have Arkanoid in there.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Sorry, Nintendo.
No, hey, that's fine.
You're a home console company to me.
I'm going to go a little outside. Oh, I totally agree with that. A little outside the box, what you might expect from me for my 6th. I'm going to go with Afterburner. The sit-down moving
Yes,
one.
That's good.
That thing was insanely awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's it. What's the theme of the bar going to be? Are we going with a theme, or are we just making a...
Josie's Pub.
Nice.
See?
Nice.
We can do it on theme. It's all good.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Carl, do you think the Xbox One is dead compared to the Switch and PS4 since the other systems have exclusive games? I don't think Xbox One is dead. It's certainly in a distant third place. There's nothing that's... I don't really see anything that's really driving Xbox One sales currently other than brand loyalty. But if brand loyalty is your thing, then you already have an Xbox One. I don't really see anything Xbox is doing that's creating any excitement in the industry. But I also think that Xbox is probably going to be Microsoft's last gaming system, Xbox One. I don't see them really doing another one because like the One S didn't really take off the way they thought it would, and they just more and more of their games are available like on Steam and you know Windows Anywhere or whatever it's called. So I wouldn't be like super surprised, but I would be a little surprised if Microsoft did another system.
Oh, I don't think they'll abandon ship just yet, but they definitely lost ground. In a bad way.
Yeah.
This time around.
Yeah. They looked at everything Sony did wrong last generation and did all that.
Yeah.
But worse.
Yeah.
So, okay, Drew, you are working with Kevin Feige on on Phase 4 of the Marvel
Am
DCU.
I now?
I think he means Phase 5 because aren't we currently in Phase 4?
We're in Phase 3 right now. Phase 4 is coming up.
Who do you have Captain Marvel as the face of the MCU or the Fantastic Four? Okay, I think he just mixed up his words here. I think he's asking who do you have as the face of the
face of the
MCU, Captain Marvel or the Fantastic Four, and how would you introduce the Fantastic Four and the X-Men in Phase?
Well, this could go in any number of ways, so it's hard to. Like Captain Marvel is going to be cool, I'm sure, and it's anticipated, but she's not really a top tier character in the way that Iron Man, Cap, and Thor are. So but to be fair, they
were not
either.
Top, yeah, I was just
however, they weren't in terms of pop cultural recognizability compared to, say, the X-Men or Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But even in the B list that they were on, they were certainly much more a known quantity than Captain Marvel.
You'd have a better chance of showing Joe Average on the street a picture of Iron Man
and Captain America.
Saying, who are these, than a picture of Captain Marvel saying, who is
this? If they were B list at the time, she was C, D list, right? I mean, deep pull. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it feels a little weird and as a comic fan, not right for this character to be prominent in the face of a brand over other characters that this brand contains. That's just me. It's just how I feel.
Yeah.
I look at it like wrestling. You've got your upper card, you got your mid card, and then you got your lower card.
Yeah.
Some guys just ain't meant for the top of the card.
Yeah.
Or when someone in the mid card is over someone that should be in the upper card, it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, you're not basing it off of like gender or anything like that.
No,
you're
it's
basing it just on kind of where the character is.
Right. It could be like, even if you said like, oh, they're doing Dark Hawk. He's going to be the face of the Phase 4. I'll be like, what are you talking about? Get out of here with that.
Dark Hawk.
I don't know. He came to mind for some reason.
I would be first in line for a Dark Hawk movie.
It could be Captain Marvel for classic one for all I care. He's a man. I'd still be like, that's fine, but that's not the face of the brand. So.
Yeah, I think if you're going to redefine the face of the MCU going forward, Black Panther.
Yeah, absolutely. Put all your chips on Black Panther because he's already proven, and people love him. So, but if they're talking about a new face, which Alan seems to be indicating, then I'd say yeah, absolutely, it's got to be the Fantastic Four. And how would I bring him in? Well, we've talked about this before.
We've covered this. I think I came up with a really good idea.
I think the Infinity Gauntlet offers you all the possibilities you could ever want with reality bending and time bending and whatnot. I say at the conclusion of the next movie, our intrepid Avengers win the day and defeat Thanos, and in so doing, the universe resets itself and a new universe is born. And
so you want them to reboot?
Yep. Reboot the whole thing.
No,
and take it back to the 60s. Reboot it, period.
That. No, it was one episode we were talking about this. I said, because we've established that there was a, air finger quotes, Marvel universe prior to Iron Man. Mm-hmm. Established in like Ant-Man and the first Captain America movie. So you just do a period Fantastic Four film set in the 60s.
But then they can
and then at the end of the movie, you strand them in the negative zone.
And then you bring them out in modern times?
Yes. It's the negative zone, man. Time works differently there.
We've already got one fish out of water with Cap. I don't need a whole team of them.
But Cap's probably going away, so
now we have 4 Caps that are all making like old timey jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
I understood that reference. No, I don't need that.
But not as old timey though.
I mean, at this point, dude, it's all relative. I mean,
I'm just saying,
1961 to 1945 isn't that big of a gap.
I just think in this particular case, my version's a little bit better. Yours is kind of a little lazy.
Lazy? Dude, they're about to lose all their heavy hitters. I say reboot the thing so you can have the heavy hitters back.
Yeah.
They're rebooting the X-Men anyway.
Well, X-Men, they're most times I will chagrin a reboot. X-Men need a reboot.
Sure they do.
I'll be the first one in line that says X-Men need a reboot. But at the same time, I also think X-Men need to be kept on the shelf, maybe for all of Phase 4.
Oh, yeah. You plan that out.
Sorry, Alan. We know you love your mutants.
They're going to have to find a way to make that work.
We got to blow the stink off them.
If they're putting them in the MCU, they better have a really good reason why the X-Men in the MCU that we've come to know would be shunned and not accepted. Yeah. The whole concept has never really gelled with me.
It's a concept that is still applicable to this date, but
not
within
in the Marvel universe, though.
Yeah, but I was going to say in the comic universe, but within the context of the MCU, it doesn't work quite as well.
If you really break it down, it doesn't work quite as well in the comics either. The Avengers and all these other superpower weirdos are celebrated as heroes all over New York City and the world, but the X-Men, they're mutants, so they're evil, and we should naughty. What?
Well, there's
sense does that make?
Any number of parallels you can draw between that and things going on in the real world now. I mean, look what happened in unfortunately again in Jacksonville, Florida this past weekend, where we had another shooting event, and because the shooter is white, it's the accused shooter, not domestic terrorist.
Sure, but he doesn't have powers. We're kind of getting crazy with the allegory. All I'm saying is, Captain America's super strong, runs super fast, has superpowers, leader of the Avengers. Yay! Wolverine has claws and can heal fast.
Claws.
Hot claws. I'm sorry, pardon me.
Hot claws.
And Cyclops can shoot optic blasts, but and somehow, oh no, we can't trust them though. They're bad.
Yeah, there's any number of parallels you can draw between that and what's going on.
It's the same thing though. They're both.
I know.
They're all the same.
That's why you can draw the parallels between what's going on there and in the real world.
I suppose. I guess.
Alan does have a PS here because we were some point in our group chat this week. He mentioned, I can't remember what it was, but something about J.K. Simmons coming back as J. Jonah Jameson. And I mentioned, like, don't get me wrong, I love me some J.K. as J.J., but am I wrong for kind of wanting to see Danny McBride?
No,
as
it was a
J.J.
great idea
Jameson?
when we thought of it, and it's still a great idea.
So his PS here is, I like Carl's idea of Danny McBride as J. Jonah Jameson, but I think J.K. Simmons will return if offered the role since Justice League bombed.
I'm pretty sure it was my idea, number one. Number two...
No, that was mine.
I don't think
because
so.
I remember your reaction was like, I never thought of it, and now it's all I want.
We'll have to go back and listen to that episode. I think it was our Ant-Man review, I believe. So, yeah.
Might have been.
We'll have to go back. In any case, it was born on this show. And, I still want it to happen.
As many great ideas are.
Kevin Feige's listening. He's on the phone with Danny McBride right now.
He's like, it's one of those things where, like, it's kind of old school comic industry business. He likes our ideas, but he can't credit us because he doesn't want to pay us.
I mean...
But that's fine.
An anonymous check, Kevin. That's all I ask. I don't care.
All we need
Just
is
make it out to cash.
Listen, all we need is one dump truck of money. We can split it amongst ourselves.
It's fine. Half a dump truck.
Just one.
Half a dump truck is enough.
All right. So that does it for the cross-examination. Thank you, Alan and Jay, as always. Which brings us on to the case files, the news of the week. And Drew, we're kind of all over the board.
Well, let's
good news, bad news. Where was start? We'll start on like a small bit of news that will probably stretch out in 20 minutes.
Like we do.
Drew, there's a surprise game announcement this week. We got a trailer out of nowhere for Streets of Rage 4.
Ah, yeah, I didn't watch it.
There's not a lot to it. It's like, I think it's less than a minute. It shows very little gameplay.
Is there a kangaroo?
There is not a kangaroo as of yet.
There is no truth in this art. I will have nothing to do with this.
You know what? I got a probably not too hot a take for you, but the kangaroo was garbage.
That's a scorching hot take, Carl.
Yeah.
Scathing.
I'm going to say something, and you're not going to agree with it, even though I'm simply stating a personal preference and not a matter of fact. I always enjoyed Streets of Rage more than Double Dragon. I felt the gameplay was deeper.
It better be. It was on a 16-bit console.
Well, not only that, just kind of like the design of the game, what you could do in it. Save for Double Dragon 3, which was friggin' awesome.
I'm going to have to disagree with it. I hated Double Dragon 3. But
oh, come on. The fat guy and the ninja? They were great.
2 was peak. Anyway, the real comparison, I think, is not that. It's Streets of Rage versus Final Fight. At least that's how I always imagine it, because they were both on 16-bit consoles.
Okay. I would take Streets of Rage over Final Fight.
All right. Wow.
As well.
Okay.
Just because, like, Final Fight there's not... Like, Streets of Rage, you could do, like, team-up combos and things like that. You can call in a police car with a Gatling gun. Mm-hmm. Final Fight, you could eat a leg of chicken.
And destroy a car.
You could. But yeah, I always enjoyed that series. I thought it was really good, and I'm looking forward to Streets of Rage 4.
Okay.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 1 and 2, definitely, if you ever get a chance, folks, go back and play them. Streets of Rage 3, not so much.
I'm waiting for the crossover event, the Streets of Primal Rage.
Ooh.
It's just T-Rexes and monkeys running around the streets beating the crap out of people.
Not gonna lie, I'll not. You know what? We need more side-scrolling beat 'em up crossovers. It worked great for Double Dragon and Battletoads.
Sure.
Come on.
Why not?
Do it more.
I mean, there's also reasons why they don't do things like that, but, whatever.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it? Okay.
We can cross over Street Rage with Final Fight. Call it Final Rage.
Final Rage.
Final Rage.
It sounds made up.
Or call it Street Fight.
I mean, we're getting close there.
We're close, but we're just far enough away.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Capcom does own one of those, so
yeah,
they don't
and
care.
Final Fight 2 or Street Fighter 2 was originally Final Fight 2, and it's an original design concept.
And yet somehow Hagar never made it into a Street Fighter game.
Not a Street Fighter proper game, no.
That's bizarre to me.
Made it into Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oh, okay.
In which he was essentially just Zangief.
Man, so weird.
But, I mean, Zangief was Hagar before Hagar was Zangief, so.
Wait, what?
Well, Final Fight came out first.
Yes.
Before
right.
Street Fighter 2.
Did I hear? I thought I heard you say Zangief was Hagar before Hagar was Zangief. Is that?
Yeah. Because Zangief was just basically, like, as far as the moveset goes, very heavily influenced by Hagar.
Well, that's even in his origin, right?
No.
He was trained by Hagar. I think they wove that into his Street Fighter 2 bio.
I'll have to double check.
That's where he learned the spinning pile driver.
They may have fought. I'm not sure. No, because Hagar's pile driver does not spin.
Not in Final Fight, but in canon, it does.
Not in any game he's appeared in.
I'll Google this.
Okay, go ahead. But yeah, so fun new beat 'em ups coming out. There's a whole lot of just kind of not fun stuff in the news. So I'll save the next somewhat fun thing I got for last. Before we move on to other stuff, we'll stop by the old dumpster fire. Drew?
Still burning?
Still burning. Still burning. Alec Baldwin has been cast in the Joker film.
Really?
And Drew, who would you think Alec Baldwin's going to play in a Joker film?
Oh God.
Do you know? Let me ask you. Start off. Do you know who he's playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I saw the article, and I don't. There's questions about what's going on right now. Who would he play? Oh, I don't know. The mayor of Gotham City.
Mayor of Gotham City, maybe. The head clinician at Arkham Asylum. Any number of distinguished things. No, he's playing Thomas Wayne.
Oh, I could see that. But there's a wrinkle though, Carl.
There. Whatever do you mean, good sir?
Oh, I don't know. Apparently, they're gonna spin this version of Thomas Wayne. He's gonna be like Donald Trump or something. This is not the version of Thomas Wayne I'm familiar with.
No.
Well, that's what they're getting. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So we are clearly in Elseworlds territory here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to make of any of this.
I simply say no, thank you.
Yes,
we're good.
Yes,
we don't need this.
No, we don't need this at all
in any way, shape, or form. All right, so now into some unfortunate stuff. We got news this week that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 filming has been delayed, quote unquote, indefinitely.
Yep.
So there's a couple different ways to take this. First way, probably the most logical way to take it, is they can't adhere to their originally scheduled filming slate because they currently, as of now, have no director. So they probably just need to push back the filming or the whole startup, pre-production, everything until they get a director. I feel that would be the most logical explanation for it.
Yes, but here's the rub, as it were. when they replaced directors previously, like when Thor 2 lost a director, and then when Edgar Wright finally did bow out of Ant-Man, they announced the new directors within days.
Yes.
If you've paid attention, not one report has come out of any director in Hollywood even taking a meeting regarding Guardians 3. Because they're not going to. Because they know that the way Marvel and Disney specifically handled this situation was very, very dumb. They got played.
Yeah.
And they got egg on their face, and everyone's kind of saying like, yeah, no, we're gonna...
I think ultimately they probably could get someone.
Sure.
Because once again, dump trucks of money.
Dump trucks of money work wonders. And if you... There was a report that the gentleman who directed Thor Ragnarok...
Taika Waititi.
Yes. He took a meeting recently with Marvel to discuss another project.
Yes.
But it was not disclosed what it was.
Yeah. The lead rumors are Thor 4.
Yeah, you said 3.
Or, Thor 4 or, Guardians 3.
It's a safe bet, but I would have to imagine he's probably chummy with Gunn too. These guys all seem to be in the inner sanctum together, and I don't know. I don't think he would do it. I don't know that. It just feels like I don't think he would step on the toes like that. I think he would say, you know what, not for me. Sorry, but I could be totally wrong.
I think another aspect you have to explore with this is the influence of the cast,
who are pretty.
You've got some
pretty united,
high power names in this cast. I mean, by their powers combined, they form a power level equivalent of Dwayne Johnson. But still, they weren't happy about this decision.
No, and the thing is, though, they probably also have some high-powered contracts that say you're gonna show up to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I don't know.
But do any of them do any of them really need those contracts? They can.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're all going to get work elsewhere very easily.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm bummed out. At the very least, I would have hoped they would use James Gunn's script for 3, but that seems like even that's not on the table right now.
So what do you think? I mean, what do you think Disney's realistic best play here is? Because you can look at this one of two ways. This is just a temporary inconvenience, or this can be the crack that starts the avalanche. I mean, it's kind of two extremes, granted, but
well, they just don't do Guardians 3. That's all. They've got. Look at it this way. Again, like we've said, they've got Cap probably going away, Iron Man probably going away. There's going to be fresh faces showing up any minute now to kind of rebrand the MCU as we know it. So we just don't do Guardians 3 in that case, and we put
bring in the Starjammers. Is that what you're
saying? No. But we have the Fantastic Four now. We have the Silver Surfer now. We can do Galactus now. So we don't necessarily need the Guardians to be anchoring the cosmic side of things, because we have other characters that can do that too. And it's not the best case scenario, but
maybe do a Nova Corps movie. How much would that tick off DC? Do your Green Lantern film before they do, and do it better.
I'm actually shocked they haven't done that yet, to be honest with you. I kind of thought the Nova Corps got the short end of the stick in Guardians 1. Like, they were just kind of like generic lackeys.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the real Nova Corps. That could just be, whatever. So Richard Rider's out there somewhere, Anyway,
zipping around.
I don't know. I don't think this is going to be any sort of like death knell for Marvel or anything like that. They're, but it is an elephant in the room. And when they start doing press for Infinity War 2 or whatever it is, sorry, but those questions are going to get asked. They're going to be asked of the press or of the cast. They're going to be asked of the Russo brothers. Like Kevin Feige's going to be on the hot seat. They're going to have to come up with something.
Which is unfortunate because none of those people had anything to do with this.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Right. They just worked there, man.
Yeah.
There is a rumor, Carl.
Yes.
That Bob Iger, head of Disney, right?
Okay.
He will not be head of Disney forever. Or much longer, allegedly. I guess he already extended his tenure longer than he wanted to. So they're going to be looking for a new head of Disney. And who do you think is in that discussion to become the new head of Disney?
I don't think Kevin Feige would be.
Kathleen Kennedy, Kevin Feige, and like the head of Disney theme parks, like the top 3 candidates to take Bob Iger's position.
I would probably put it the theme park person or Kathleen Kennedy. I would put either one of those ahead of Kevin Feige, because Kathleen Kennedy, we know her primarily as running Lucasfilm now, and
right,
and having a lot to do with Star Wars. If you look at her career, she's been part of like so many other things, so many other great things, that I think that decision would make more sense. Kevin Feige, love Kevin Feige. We know you're listening, Kev. We love you. Has primarily just done this.
And I know that
he's really good at it. And I don't want to say that in a minimizing way to what he's done.
Running Disney is a much bigger...
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a big job.
Yeah, he's not in that weight class yet.
Sure. No, I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But in any case, whoever it is, they might defer to a Kevin Feige or Kathleen Kennedy. So if Kevin Feige says, hey...
Let's hope.
I want you to be my boss, but do me a favor. Bring James Gunn back.
Yeah.
Could happen.
That would be great.
Could happen.
I love it. All right. So now, Drew, we've had a lot of discussions on the show about fandom and...
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's just wonderful. Good people, fans.
How it's kind of gone through a change, definitely over the past 10 years, even more so before that. So these next 2 things we're going to talk about is really gonna touch on that, Pauls.
Oh boy, I wasn't prepared to get angry today. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, don't get angry about it. Just I know your secret is that you're always angry, but
that's right. Yes.
Drew, can you give the listeners at home a brief, factual, not editorialized, factual description of what Comicsgate is?
Dude, I don't even know. Honest to God, I don't even know. I've seen it come up a couple times. It's suddenly all over.
Yeah,
as a term being tossed around all over Twitter and everything right now. I don't know what started it. I don't know what it is. I know all I know, and I just assumed when I heard the term.
Mm-hmm.
Let me guess. Whining white male fanboys are upset over any non-white, non-male creators in the business. Am I close?
You're not wrong.
Okay, I had a feeling I was dead on.
You're not wrong. It is a group, from what I understand, that put out a list of...
They love their lists.
Yeah, a list of creators and people in the industry who they do not want you to attack or anything like that.
Oh, sure. That's how I put out the list.
They do not want you to support them with your purchasing dollars.
Okay.
Because they feel it's forced diversification.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that.
This has become a thing. Apparently, unfortunately...
We like our comics nice and white.
Yeah. there's an artist involved with it who I'm not gonna say saddened to hear was involved with it, because I do enjoy their work, but disappointed to hear was involved with it was Ethan Van Sciver, whatever.
I told you about him a long time ago. That guy's bad news.
I know.
Knew that years ago.
I know. And
Grade A. I can't use the word on the air. He's not a good guy, and I've known that for a long time.
And typically I've kind of been able to separate the art from the artist, but
I struggle with that.
There are certain things that are a couple steps too far.
Yeah, well, I'm not shocked. So I mean,
so folks,
whatever,
if you like diversity and inclusion and a better world for all, just ignore what Comicsgate is saying.
I can't believe this is a thing. Give me a break. It's oh my God, it's comic books. Yep. The whole point of them is like escapist fantasy for the disenchanted and the disillusioned and the disenfranchised.
Yep.
Like, who did you think this was for?
Okay.
Any X-Men fans that are talking
like
about Comicsgate?
Do they probably.
Do they not see the irony in
stepping?
I can't, dude. Oh
stepping outside and kind of looking at the big picture, for lack of a better term. The past 10 years, we're experiencing a culture change in comics. Traditionally, comics have been an all-boys club. Yeah. As far as like creators, writers, female participation.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Was very wrong. And especially among the big two, diversity. They have their bright spots, but few are those stars in the galaxy.
Sure.
Diversity's been an issue in comics. Again, predominantly between Marvel and DC.
No, you're not wrong.
And
it's
that
changing.
That culture is changing. So anytime you have a massive, just like we're seeing in our country over the past 15 years, anytime you have a massive shift in culture from what was traditionally considered the norm, for lack of a better phrase, to a new norm, those who are comfortable in the old norm are going to rebel against the change. And unfortunately, in situations like this, it creates things like Comicsgate that we have to deal with. So,
dude, get used to change, because that's life, man.
No, I mean, I'm all for the change. I'm all for the diversity and inclusion. And you see the diversity, having worked at a comic shop for a time, it's not like, yes, it is still majority. I don't say predominantly, but I say majority is still male.
Sure.
Yes. But again, with cultural change, we're seeing much more diverse scope of people coming into the comic shop to discover these characters. And it just makes sense to have something there for them. And it's not to say they're not going to pick up an issue of Superman or Iron Man.
Right.
But it again, it doesn't make sense not to have that diversity option for them.
Comics are just a medium, man. I mean, look at it from dollars and cents.
Yeah.
If I'm a shop owner, I don't care if I'm selling Superman comics or if I'm selling Squirrel Girl. If people are coming in and buying Squirrel Girl in droves, I'm making money.
Yeah.
Business is good. Comics are good.
Mm-hmm.
And if people are enjoying those stories, then am I going to tell them that they're, no, Superman's better, girl? Dude, look.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to do that.
No. And not to mention the ultimate irony, like comics historically have also been a genre for nerds and nerds and geeks and historic, not anymore obviously, because that's all pop culture now, but when I was growing up, and I'm sure the generation before me, it was that of the domain of the geeky and the nerdy and the picked on, the jocks and the normies, if you want to call them whatever, you know what I'm saying. They looked down at comics, and in a sense comics were a security blanket for people that found comfort in in comics from their daily routine of getting picked on for being into them in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So comics were this great escape. now the people that like the comics that use it as their great escape are now picking on other people.
Yeah.
Do you not see what you're doing?
Yeah. Like,
instead of being like, hey, I too was once shunned. Welcome. Come on board. The great adventure of comics with me. No.
Yeah.
Keep people out.
Like, I can
understand
without condoning that reaction. I can understand someone like, okay, those who shunned me and persecuted me, I found this sanctuary, but now all of a sudden those who used to shun me and persecute me, keyword being used to, are now coming into this domain and sanctuary, and no, this is my space. And again, not condoning it, understanding it, and by just accept everyone. All right, just be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes.
Yeah,
it's good advice. It's good advice.
So, and this brings us to our last news thing of the week. Now, something originally I didn't plan on really discussing at all because we've never really mentioned it on the show, but I felt it kind of goes not totally hand in hand with the whole Comicsgate thing, but definitely an issue of perception and representation in mass media.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier this week, news came out that Big Bang Theory was ending its run after 12 seasons.
Yeah.
And I did not watch it from the beginning. There was like a chunk, like 2 or 3 seasons that I watched with Julie, and I was entertained by it. It was fine. And then we kind of like cut the cable, and then I went back to it. Like once we got like basic cable or whatnot, I caught a couple of reruns, and you just kind of start to see the flaws in it and design of it, of how geek culture was represented in it.
Yeah.
And it's tough because like just the other day I was kind of like looking at some clips online, and the girls of the show, the 3 female characters, went into a comic shop to try and understand why their significant others were so enthralled with comics. And they go into the comic shop, and all that's in there is the stereotypical representation of what used to be the stereotypical representation of a comic book reader, massively overweight, bald, mouth breathing, and there's like maybe a half a dozen, and they're all guys, and as soon as they walk in the store, all the guys just stop and just ogle them.
And leer.
And leered. And it's just like, no. This isn't...
You're not helping.
...what it is anymore.
It's really not.
It was that once.
Yeah.
But those days are long gone.
Look,
and it just kind of like I was trying to think like when's the last time that we had good representation of true geek culture and mass media thing, and the last thing I could think of was Clerks and Mallrats. That was the last thing I could really think of. Maybe Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, but I mean, there was. Here's the thing: those kinds of characters were represented in those as well. I mean, I love Brody Bruce, but he is like he is beyond the pale geek to the point of like when he gets how's the comic collection, Brody? Oh, hey, wait, what? What comics? No, comics are for kids, lady. He gets all defensive about it. You know what I'm saying? So they're products of their time. But in fairness to like Clerks and Mallrats and stuff, they don't talk down. At least I don't. Well, do they? I don't want to say this without. I never felt like they were talking down to those people. They celebrate those people.
Yeah, I would say they were talking down or talking out to them. They were just talking the same language.
Yeah, and they certainly didn't. I don't know. They felt more inclusive than talking down to. And Big Bang Theory always felt like it was talking down to geeks. It was making them the butt of the joke as opposed to making them kind of like inclusive.
And it's weird because like in the macro view of it, they were clinging to archetypes that don't, I don't want to say don't exist anymore, but for the majority part aren't really as prevalent.
No, look, the Avengers makes billions of dollars. It's everyone now.
Yeah.
We're all in on the train now.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are.
But the funny thing is, like, for what I did watch of it, within the show, every now and again, they'd, like, there were some things they would get right. But it just made me kind of, like, want to see something where that is an accurate portrayal of geek culture.
Well, we have Stranger Things. Those kids are geeky, and they're celebrated.
Yeah, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Stranger Things. I love me some Stranger Things. Now I'm thinking something more like set in the here and now.
Oh, well,
Stranger Things I think of more as an homage than.
I mean, Spider-Man and Ned put together a Lego Death Star.
They did. I don't know. I think. I guess I'm probably thinking something more like Big Bang Theory, but better.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Strange.
Put it this way. Big Bang Theory and Clerks and Mallrats, the characters we're talking about were treated as the other outsiders.
Yeah.
Okay? My point is, we're not outsiders anymore. It's just...
No, you're right.
It's
mainstream now.
It's just
what
culture now.
Yeah.
So there's no need to single it out and poke at it because it's everyone now.
Yeah.
Cool. We're all here now together, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah. And it's funny because I guess the main reasons that the show is stopping is Jim Parsons doesn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, good.
Which that's fine. I get like, hey, I've done this for 12 years. I think it's time to, move on to other things. But I do need to take some acting lessons. Maybe I don't want to say that. Like, I don't want to try to be that guy about it. But like, I've seen him in other things, and he's always just playing a slightly different version of Sheldon. Like Hidden Figure. You know, a movie Hidden Figures about the women in the NASA program. Taraji P. Henderson was in it.
Okay.
It was set in like the 60s. Really good movie, and Jim Parsons is in it too. As soon as he shows up and starts acting, I'm immediately seeing Sheldon. He's just playing a less smart Sheldon. I'm like, I guess he's doing a lot of Broadway stuff, and I hope he's better in that.
You don't play someone on TV for 12 years and like, you can't just turn it off. And not only that, it's hard for an audience to see you as anything but that.
Yeah.
Like, I saw Jason Alexander on an episode of Law and Order SVU recently.
Yeah.
And like, he's got this long blonde hair wig on and he's got like a beard and he's trying to like, but to me, I'm just like, George, what happened to you?
Yeah.
Because he's George. Seinfeld ended in 1998. He's still George to me.
He had a really great. He played a really good character in an episode of Star Trek Voyager. I remember.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was kind of like a collector type, like grand collector type person. He was cool. It was fun.
All right.
So yeah. All right. So that's the news. That's where we're at.
Yay. Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
And now the news is done. So, time to rustle papers. Am I the only one rustling papers again?
Dude, it's all up here now. Mental.
Rustle my one paper.
It's enough. It gets the point across.
All right. On to Jessica Jones, episode 7. Drew, the episode's called I Want Your Cray Cray.
Yeah, that's some kind of euphemism right there. So this is like the Jessica Jones equivalent of like the When Homer Met Marge episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. We get any possible question we might have had about Jessica's past.
Yeah.
Kind of answered in this episode.
Kind of. So to be fair, I thought it was actually a pretty good episode. And
it was interesting.
And it definitely, there was one scene that like horrified me. We'll get to that in a minute. But like, if I'm going to if I have to throw a flag, as I did the flag throwing motion at Carl in an audio medium.
I think I know where this is going too.
If I have to point out and yell and make fun of and chastise Scott Snyder,
say boo to this man because we got another coat origin.
Yes! How did you know?
I knew it was coming.
As soon as I saw it the window, I'm like, no, don't do this.
Don't. Oh, you did it.
Like, all right. The coat has an origin story.
The coat has an origin story. I think there was something else.
It's not like Daredevil's suit, okay? Where we got to come up with like an in-universe reason why he has this thing. It's a coat. I don't need some deep reason why she wears a coat.
Yeah.
That aside, it's a good episode.
It's a good episode.
I saw the coat, man. I was like, oh, did Scott Snyder write this?
Aside from the Batman 0 year tangent.
The coat.
We see I was interested most to kind of see Trish in this episode.
Yeah.
Because we see like a post Patsy.
Well, to this point, we've only seen we understand that she was a young child star.
Yeah.
And now she's a radio host. And it's kind of glossed over those middle years.
Yeah.
Like it's implied, but now we get to see those middle years. And oh dear.
Like this episode kind of flushes out more motivation behind her addictive nature.
Yes. Yep.
When she lets it out, which she has in the previous episodes with the inhaler.
Right.
But we just see her, do you remember music videos?
I do. I do, actually.
She could win a VMA.
Remember those? I know they still do them, but like, who watches them?
I like why they're like. We're getting to be old men on the porch yelling at the kids to get off our lawn, but
no, it's fine. I mean, the VMAs were, to be fair, I always thought they were crap. So I'm happy that they are now irrelevant. Makes me smile.
They also had great performances. That's kind of why I watch them.
Sometimes, yeah, sure. I guess. So
come on, man! Guns N' Roses with Elton John doing November Rain. That was awesome.
You know. Anyway, I digress. Like she's like Taylor Swift, but not kind of, because this takes place before Taylor Swift would have been a thing. That's the thing. I was a little fuzzy on the timeline.
She's like a Britney.
Kind of like a Britney.
This is probably like early 2000s.
She's like a Britney with a slight Lindsay Lohan bend.
Yeah.
What with the drug abuse and all.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan is not getting a radio show anytime soon, though. So
no.
Good job, Trish. Way to pull out of that spiral.
Way to avoid the curse of Herbie.
Yeah. Anyway, something's going on there. So yeah, she's got problems.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jess seemingly is like the well-adjusted one at this time.
Yeah, like Jess is not the Jess we've grown to know and love.
She's in college.
She's in college. She's certainly, she's not happy-go-lucky Jess, but
no,
she's just kind of like
parents dead and whatnot.
Yeah, parents are dead, and but she kind of, I want to say, has an idea of who she is right now.
Did she or did she not? She did. She turned away champagne at the premiere.
Yeah, because she's not bubbly.
No.
Well, she was drinking like real.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I was gonna say what an inversion of characters we had there.
Yeah. But Jess is like, she's in college. She's studying and
stuff,
doing very unlike Jess stuff. And we see that Trish is kind of, I don't want to say her meal ticket, but is providing financial support.
Yeah.
For Jess. But I mean, with Trish, she's like, yeah, she's kind of fallen into, she's post Patsy, pre radio show host.
She's a mess.
Yeah, she's a mess.
She's a mess.
And the way they described it, like she kind of got out of it, but then this opportunity came along to make an album, and that just shoved her right back into it.
Yeah. And mom is still, around.
Mom is still the cancer.
So Jess meets a boy.
Yes, Sterling.
Not Archer.
No.
He's a bartender.
Yep.
With a dream.
As all bartenders are like to have.
Of a nightclub.
See Tom Cruise in Cocktail.
Sure. Of his own club, his own bar.
Yep.
Where he can give free drinks to anyone he wants, anytime, without hassle. Because that's how bars make money.
A bar with an interesting name.
It all.
Another Snyder-ific moment.
Alias. Club Alias.
Which is not the worst name for a club.
No, it's fine. Perfectly fine. So, while all this is going on, we find out that Jess's mom survived the car wreck.
Yes.
And
then we find in the beginning of the episode that the flashback that Jess had of being attacked by a monster, that was actually her mom.
That's the scene that horrified me, dude.
Yeah, she was very pizza-faced.
Oh, my Lord. Toxic Avenger, like, times 1,000.
Yes.
Terrifying.
Toxic Avenger done, like, seriously intentionally frightening.
I haven't been that horrified since I saw Mac and Me for the first time.
Are you serious?
The weird, lanky parent aliens in that movie are terrifying if you're a child. They're terrifying as an adult.
I was always amused by the porn doll face.
Yes.
On the aliens.
But just dad, all weird with his little gut, walks all weird. Dude, I've seen clips of it recently. It's still terrifying. It's, oh my God, horrifying.
That movie, I believe, this past week was 30 years old.
Wow. Did you know, Mac and Me diversion?
Mac and Me tangents.
So, remember the movie? I know you've seen it.
Yes.
Okay. The kid in the wheelchair is rolling up towards the gas station or whatever it was in the end there, and there's that big explosion.
Yeah.
And it kills him. And they bring him back to life,
Yeah.
Did you know that in the original cut, that's not how he died?
How
they shot this, and the footage is out there. It's on YouTube. Originally, what the hell is going on? No one wants to hear about Mac and Me. Originally, he was shot by a police officer in the crossfire between...
Jeez.
Yeah, between a weird proportioned beer gut dad alien and the cops.
I think because another podcast I listened to, with the 30-20-10 podcast, brought to my attention that was this past week was the 30th anniversary of Mac and Me, but also that it might have been like a large portion of it funded by McDonald's. Not
directly, but yeah.
Because like Ronald McDonald was in the trailer.
Yep.
Like introducing the trailer. Remember when McDonald's was a thing? Like
McDonald's still is very much a thing.
No, I mean it is, but not what they had like clothing lines and toy lines, and it was crazy.
They're still, I mean, not like that.
Yeah.
But that's mostly because of I would imagine legal ramifications of marketing to kid. Well, kid marketing is Anyway, we're off on a tangent.
Yeah, we just spoke
enough
5 minutes about Mac and Me.
So yeah, she's horrifying, and then over a period of years, hippie doctor.
Yeah,
and we know he's hippie doctor because he has the Grateful Dead shirt on. Then later he's got the Doors shirt on,
and he uses phrases like "far out" and "groovy."
Yeah.
He's not, but his character does not necessarily come off as a villain.
No, he's helping.
Methodology questionable,
quite,
but motives not horrible.
No, I mean it's well intended, I suppose, and he does make a lot of progress. So hang on, a question: is it implied, if not outright stated, and I just didn't quite understand? When he heals Jess's mom, right? And when she wakes up after the horrible scene of disfigurement, and she's just bald, and she says like gene therapy, so you replace my genes or whatever, and she looks at herself. Am I supposed to take it that she doesn't look like Jess's mom anymore? Does she look different?
No.
Oh.
No, it's just waking up and being told you're disfigured and then looking in the mirror and seeing that you're just, bald.
Okay, because she was much worse off.
Yeah.
And she reacts like horrified, but it's like, lady, look, you were much worse than this.
Yeah, I don't think she... Well, we
You
established...
scared children.
Yeah, we established in the episode she doesn't remember that.
Okay. All right.
So,
fair enough.
yeah.
In any case. So, yeah, his motives are not terrible. So he's, rebuilding her and whatnot, and she eventually, though, demands to know what happened to her daughter.
Yeah.
And, obviously her other kid is dead, but she knows that Jess is alive. So she breaks out.
Yeah.
And kills a nurse.
Yep. And severely injures Inez.
Yeah.
Put some shards of glass into her back. I think one thing I think this episode does really well is it uses just one episode to show us how these characters that we've been following for a season and 6 episodes became the characters we've been watching.
Yeah.
It does it all in just like this 1 hour episode. And I think it does it really well because at the end of the episode, when they're sitting on top of the building, we see the Jess that we know now.
Yeah.
But we also see the Trish that we know now.
Or at least at least the beginning.
Yeah.
Of
Proto Trish.
Yeah, proto. So Jess and her boy are doing well. She reveals her powers to him, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah, she's much less careful about exposing her powers. Like, she rips open an ATM and right.
They have cameras on them.
Yeah. So I think it's more the experience with Kilgrave that got her to, I almost said Killmonger. So finally got around to watching Black Panther again this past week.
Okay.
I think it was more the experience with Kilgrave that got her to be more careful about who and how she reveals herself to.
Okay.
But she's still not completely careful about it.
I like that they have the same loft apartment as Cassandra from Wayne's World.
Yes. I didn't think about that, but as soon as you said it, instantly just see Mike Myers rolling his gut.
Yeah. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Anyway, so he's made apparently some bad business deals to invest in his little club.
Yes.
And guys come looking for their money, and Jess beats them up.
Kind of just more pushes than a full beating.
Well, I mean, enough that they know that she's not to be messed with.
Yeah.
Here's where the timeline gets a little weird for me, Carl.
Okay.
I don't know how many years before the current series all this is taking place, but when they meet again, these gangster gentlemen and her boyfriend, they ask him if she can help them out with some dirty business.
Yeah.
And then they ask, can she, what else can she do? Can she fly? And they start naming superpowers.
So you're kind of wondering where this falls in the post-Avengers timeline.
Yes. It doesn't seem to add up to me. I think
we can assume it's post-Avengers.
It almost has to be.
But, not... Beyond that, I mean, it's not... I don't think it's absolutely pivotal to the story, kind of where it falls.
No, but I'm just trying to put the pieces together.
No, I get you.
I accept that these things are not necessarily... the MCU doesn't care about these shows as much as the shows has to care about the MCU, in other words. But I'd just like to know, okay, what's our timeline here? How hip to superpowers are people in this world? But anyway, he agrees to, she'll help you out.
Yeah.
Which Jess did not agree to because she was in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just doing it primarily to get out of a situation without taking a beating.
Sure. But dear old mom overheard all of this transaction
Yeah.
for Jess's services, and she
Yeah.
does not take kindly to
She's
it.
got a little bit of mood swing problem now.
A bit.
Yeah.
A bit. So, Sterling has his head thrown into a brick wall several times by Mom,
Yes.
resulting in his death.
Yes.
Yeah. Mom, you're not helping.
No.
Moms aren't helping on this show, are they?
No, they're not. So yeah, we see in this episode we see these two characters at their absolute lowest.
Yes.
Like Jess when she discovers Sterling, and then Trish in the men's room at the club.
Well, it's almost like a again, Jess and Trish. They keep zigzagging across divergent paths with each other.
Yeah.
So Trish, wild party girl, life's a mess. Jess in school gets boyfriend, life's okay. By the end of the episode, Trish snaps out, starts the beginning of her new sober life. Jess, boyfriend dead, trust eroded, probably on the path to her drinking and yada yada. So the back and forth. They can never both just be okay together
They
for very long.
take turns being the irresponsible one.
Right.
So yeah, this was a good episode. Ended on a mean right hook.
Yeah. Mom said sorry in the present day, and Jess says, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, no. Do you think she told her that she killed Sterling?
I just assume that...
Because I was trying to remember, and I can't remember if it comes up again.
I took it to understand that she did, based on the framing device of the episode, but maybe not. I don't know.
So, yeah.
But she did kill that guy in the van that Jess was implicated in the murder.
Yeah.
So, if nothing else, Jess did have just cause for punching her in the face.
Yes.
Or some cause.
So, yeah. You got anything more on this episode? Just kind of...
No. The show
my
continues to
notes.
be interesting.
Yeah. Think we're good.
Still hate her mom. Trisha's mom.
Oh, yeah. She's a cancer.
She's the worst.
She
is the worst.
Yeah. She's just a terrible human being.
Basically. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, that does it for another episode of The Devil's Due. We thank you again, dear listeners, for joining us. If you would like to reach out to us and communicate with the show or share our announcements of new episodes and anything we post, you can do so at the following locations. You can follow us on Devil's Due Pod, at Devil's Due Pod on Twitter. You can go to facebook.com/Devil's Due Pod and give our page a like. You can email us at thedevilsdupod@gmail.com, or you can find all these resources available, I can talk, to you on our website, thedevilsdupodcast.com. Drew, any closing statements?
All I found is that Zangief based his spinning clothesline on Hagar's.
Okay.
But I couldn't find anything else about training specifically. But I swear I remember reading that like in the instruction manual or something like that for Street Fighter 2. So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just realizing we missed a news story. Just really quickly, Matt Smith has been cast in Star Wars Episode 9.
The guy with the weird face?
One of the Doctor Who's.
The guy with the weird face. Yeah, okay.
It's not a weird face.
He's got a weird face.
It's not a weird face.
He's got a weird face.
So we
Who's
have...
he playing?
Huh?
Who's he playing?
They said it's a significant role, but
What does that even mean?
they're not going to come out and tell you who he's playing.
Okay.
So, alrighty.
Yay.
Okay, folks, you have yourself a good weekend. You're off on Labor Day. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to you all later. Court's adjourned.